What's up, brother?
Welcome to the B&R PODCAST.
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
It's been more than a minute, folks.
We've had things going on. It's hunting season.
Yeah,
it's hunting season.
A lot of stuff going on.
Tons of stuff going on. But we're back for the attack. We've had some technical difficulties, but we're working through it. We are.
I know you're disappointed that it's been such a long stretch, but you know what?
There's a few people I know that are disappointed, but just a few. We're okay.
We'll get her up and rolling here.
We will. We shall adapt and overcome.
And we're also adjusting too. We're only going to run under 30 minutes too. We're not going to run these long.
no more marathon sessions.
Yeah.
And which Bill and I love to do.
It's easy to get on a rant. But,
at some point, the B&R podcast TikTok will be running, and we will be doing behind-the-scenes long form. So for those of you who love that, you'll actually get to see some behind-the-scenes stuff and see you'll see our podcast.
Yeah.
But that'll be going on live on TikTok, so that will just continue. So we got you.
For sure.
We got you. It's just the YouTube uploads and some of the other social media uploads. We're a new entity, so they don't give us any leeway. I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
So we've decided that 30-minute intervals would be best. So we're not going to mess around. What's up on the agenda there, young William?
It's like you said, it's been a long moment, but I think we got to talk about something that's pretty historical, and that's the Israeli-Hamas agreement that was signed.
Brokered by
the man
Donald John Trump.
Yeah.
But apparently he was literally supporting Palestine when everybody else was just talking. Talking. So, listen, I'm going to keep it real here. Do I have a lot of faith that Hamas will be good actors through the long run? I don't. Look, what that first thing that they did as soon as the Israeli ceasefire happened, they can't help but to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And so they went to killing their own people.
Yeah.
I mean, just randomly, you were supporting Israel, so on your knees. If you've not seen those videos, you need to watch those videos.
It's horrific.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
You know, when they put half a dozen or a dozen people on their knees and tie their hands behind their backs and then, shoot them in the back their back. Really shot them in the back. Some of them got shot in the head. The lucky ones.
Pretty much execution.
It was a huge execution, and that was what Hamas did.
Yeah.
That was the one thing, in all honesty, that I really hoped and wished for, because I feel for the Palestinian people. Now, some people say, well, they've done it to themselves. They put the Hamas animals, savages, in power. The one thing I was really hoping for was that Hamas would be completely destroyed. Whenever I would hear somebody say free Palestine, I said, yes, free Palestine from Hamas.
Yeah. From the terrorists.
From the terrorists.
Period.
Because these people are savages. There's something wrong with these people. I don't know.
It's the Muslim following, the Quran.
And that is true. It's a 7th century death cult is what it is. And at least in Christianity, because people point out all the time, well, in Christianity, this happened and that happened, and but guess what? Then they had a Reformation. It was called the Reformation, where they actually got all the heads of the Christian churches together in a room, and they kind of decided, okay, well, I don't believe this is what God intended, because man is flawed. And so they made some alterations, and that's where we get the New Testament.
Right.
Because the Old Testament, have you read the Old Testament?
No.
It's brutal. It's an eye for an eye, baby.
That's why they went new.
That's why they went to the new. And, and they went more towards God's love instead of God's wrath. Well, that never happened in the Quran. Allah's wrath has been Allah's wrath day in and day out for 1,000 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not with them...
Oh, no, you're to be killed.
Yes.
And you know what makes me crazy? Oh, my God, does it make me crazy? When I see things like Queers for Palestine.
Yeah, you go to Palestine and
they will throw you off the tallest building, whatever.
Stone you to death.
There's plenty of rubble around there to be stoned to death.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a woman, because they're usually the ones stoned, the men usually get shot. Have you ever seen a woman get stoned to death?
No, and I have no desire to look at it.
Well, I'm going to illustrate it for you. I have seen it, and what they do is they bury the woman up to here, their arms down. So really, there's only this much of her out of the ground, and they all stand around and they pick up rocks and just heave them at her head, and then at some point,
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
No, but by the way, when I say at some point, this is not a quick death. Okay,
that's barbaric.
It's 7th century death cult. Yeah. The men, though, if there's a man that has been judged to worthy of death, they're actually pretty quickly chopping their heads off as a beheading, and even to shoot even the I'm not advocating this, but the Palestinians. They were made to get on their knees and were shot from behind. These are 7.62 by 39 rounds at 10 feet. And so even the ones that didn't die quickly, in comparison to stoning, they died quickly.
Yeah.
So, but that's reserved for men, though. They don't typically do that for women. Although I did see Saudi Arabia, our good friends in Saudi Arabia, they had a group of women, I think there were 13 of them, who were sentenced to death for various things. Some of them, I don't know, maybe showing too much ankle. I have no idea. But anyway, Saudi Arabia is
You're not far off.
No, I'm not. Saudi Arabia is very interesting in the way that they carry out some of their executions. They'll find a crossroad, an intersection, and they'll stop traffic. Everybody has to stop. It don't matter where you think you need to go, or if you got a meeting at night, it don't matter. You're stopping. And those at the front get to see front row. And then they march the condemned into the intersection and then get them on their knees. And they've got a guy. They have bent over like this. They have a guy who is their executioner. One guy. And he wields a sword. It's kind of like one of those curvy type swords. And he just goes up to the first one. Whack! Goes up to the second one. Whack! And the head lops off and the body lumps over, and there's obviously blood coming out. As long as the heart's beating, blood's going to come out. The heart, I think the heart still beats for just a bit. So this is a big bloody mess. And then, but you can only imagine out of the corner of the condemned eyes, you can only imagine, oh, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Yeah. Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
So if you think you've got it bad here, be my guest and leave.
So that's kind of, I don't want to go off into the weeds on this because we've got a lot of things to cover today.
Yeah.
But Americans, we just all think we have it so bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we've got a king. You think you got a king? Let me tell you about that. Go to Saudi Arabia on vacation and then make yourself up a sign. The king of Saudi Arabia is a POS. The king of Saudi Arabia is a POS. And watch how a king handles his business.
Yeah, you won't be you won't be found.
I don't care if you scream, "I'm an American."
Yeah.
They don't care because the king has blaspheming the king. Oh my God. Yeah, no, and to be honest with you, same thing for North Korea. Remember that college kid that went to North Korea on vacation?
Yeah, what did he do?
He did something stupid, he took a poster that was on the wall.
Yes.
And he was he was a souvenir hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, he paid very dearly for that poster.
Yeah, that's heavy labor.
In the end, they sent his body back in a box. They did not care that he was an American. They did not, and it's just that's how kings operate. Because dictator, king, same thing.
Yep.
So whenever I hear people compare Donald J. Trump to a king, he thinks he's a king. No.
Yeah, let's not dig too deep in that.
We will not dig too deep into that.
That's a topic.
Okay, move us forward, brother. Move us forward.
Well, hold on a second.
Okay.
But this Israeli thing and Hamas thing. This is pretty historic. You've got all of these hostages back.
Yep. Something, by the way, nobody ever thought was going to happen.
No, but there's also some dirty shit involved there too. They sent some bodies back that weren't even the people that they claimed they were. They did the DNA test on them.
Now, I don't know if this is true, by the way, but I have been told that not one single female hostage was released. They were all dead. They were released, corpses. And the reason why, speculative reason why, is because Hamas did not want them to tell the horrific things that happened to them. Because you can only imagine, for 2 years, probably daily rapings, beatings, rapings. I mean, I can't wrap my head around any of that.
Well, I seen the one interview. The young man that had been released before had stated that as soon as Donald Trump won the election, their treatment improved like overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Which reminds me of when Ronald Reagan got elected. But right before Ronald Reagan was elected, that a lot of people that don't know the history don't know that our embassy in Tehran was taken over by these students, whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody from the Marines all the way through were all captured. This happened while Jimmy Carter was president.
Yep.
And then when it came to Reagan winning, he hadn't been sworn in yet. The hostage takers asked one of the hostages, "What is Ronald Reagan going to do when he becomes president?"
You don't want to know.
All this guy said, because he didn't speak, he goes, "Boom." They understood that. That was a universal language.
Yeah.
And then it was, I'll tell you what, then all of a sudden they got very serious about getting those hostages back home.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy world we live in. But now, as far as Hamas, I don't believe in the long run any of that's going to change. I think in the long run, Hamas had their 9/11 in the sense that, the victory, I should say, for the Muslims. I'm certain that when July 7th happened, it probably exceeded all of their wildest expectations. They had all of these hostages, which they love.
When did October 7th?
What did I say?
July.
I believe he's correct. Okay. The 7th. We'll just call it the 7th.
All right.
It was an amazing victory for them and their twisted minds.
Yeah.
And, I just don't think in the long run, these are the types of people who are going to ever want to be or even capable of being civilized.
Well, I'm hoping there's a chance, but I don't believe there's. I don't believe it's going to happen.
No.
Because it's not in their DNA.
No, it is not.
They've been doing this for thousands, hundreds of years. But I will say this: for that deal to get brokered, I'm pretty sure that there were some real firm words that came from the West.
Well,
I'm referring to us.
The good news is also, when that deal talking started, the area that they were kind of talking about was pretty much rubble. I had seen, if you've not seen, look it up. If you've not seen video or photos of that area,
it's bad.
It looked like Berlin in 1945.
No, on steroids.
Yeah.
I mean,
but Berlin was just like that. Berlin was rubble.
This is leveled. I mean, yeah. But my point is, I believe that with the verbiage that they put in there, that if these people aren't released and this agreement is signed, if you thought these past years were bad, you ain't seen nothing yet.
And what's weird about that, and I get that, and I do, but here's the weird thing for me to be able to digest. When your surroundings are rubble and you're living in a hole in the ground, how much worse can your situation get?
Well, that's not living.
But they're okay with that.
But they are the small piece of the puzzle that's controlling all these people. Think about that, man. I mean, they're pretty much all refugees, for gosh sakes.
Yeah. Oh, don't use that word, because we're going to pay if we have to.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I
mean, gee, I've seen some of those camps, and I've seen some of the interviews with them, and they're like, they're not happy that.
You know what is disturbing to me, because I've seen the same footage you did. What's disturbing to me is how willing the Hamas types are to use children in every way possible. They literally look at them from the time they're born as martyrs.
Yeah.
And they will starve them, they'll bloat out their bellies, and they'll be, look what the Jewish state's doing to us. I mean, they will strap bombs on a little kid, marching towards a checkpoint. I just can't.
It's no different with the women.
No, it's not. But, you know, when you can do that to your children, which are supposedly your future, you know, it's just disgusting. Where are we at time-wise?
It's time for us. We're at like 11 minutes.
We're 11 minutes into it? Oh, left. Okay.
Left.
Okay. So we're like 18 minutes.
Yes.
We're trying. This is all new to me and Bill. We're trying to get this right because we want you to see our content. We want you to see our dialogue, our discussions on current events and rock and roll and food and whatnot. And so,
and we're going to have some people in here that we know that you know their opinions and talk about their businesses, things of that nature.
There's going to be a lot of things going on, but we have to get this right.
Yeah.
So bear with us. Yeah. Bear with us.
I mean, we're a couple of schmoes, but we think we can put this together.
We're old school schmoes. Yeah. We're OG schmoes.
Yeah. Next thing is, I think, John Bolton we need to talk about a little bit.
Okay. So, do we have time for that in the 30 minutes altogether?
You know what? Probably not.
No, I'd say probably not.
Probably not. Let's go to Jack Smith.
Okay.
Okay.
Jack Smith, complete and absolute treasonous dog. Would you agree with that assessment?
This doesn't look good at all. This does not look good.
Here's what makes me crazy about that, and really a lot of things in regards to our politics in this country, is that if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to see it, does it really make a sound? And my answer is no, it does not. So when I look at the media that we have in this country, pathetic. Most people have no clue. If you get your news from MSNBC, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS News, there's so many things that you just don't know about, but you're told a false narrative or parts of it that would lead to a false narrative. Yeah. And so most people, when we bring up Jack Smith, they're like, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
What do you mean, who's that? And well, at one time they knew he was because they beat the drum every day when Jack Smith was investigating Donald Trump and
all this evidence,
which never materialized.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Jack Smith was special prosecutor looking into the delusion that was Donald Trump, Russiagate, and every other thing. Yep. Okay, only to find nothing. But here's the important part: during the investigation, what did Jack Smith do? He spied on 7 U.S. senators.
Yes. I mean, that was just brought up in the hearings. What was that, like a week ago?
I'll tell you what, those senators are hot.
There's some big time lawsuits coming.
That needs to happen. Jack Smith, I believe, should be in prison. Okay?
Yep.
I believe that with all my heart. He should be in prison because what he did was literally made Watergate look like a child's game.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, considering my entire life, that's all I've heard about in memory. I mean, it's like Watergate, Nixon, Watergate, oh my God. Yeah, that's all we ever heard about, how horrible Watergate was.
But think about this. If Trump never wins, this probably never gets uncovered.
Never.
Am I right?
No, you're 100% right.
This never gets.
But even though, and here's kind of my point about our media, even though it's now uncovered, you hear a lot about it. Maybe on Fox News.
Well, them, maybe Newsmax.
But you're not hearing about this.
Them out there.
You know, unfortunately, the majority of our country still gets their news from the mainstream 3, ABC, NBC, CBS. Yep. And that's very unfortunate because they just don't know what's going on. And if they do hear about it, the narrative is that the Republicans are making a mountain out of a molehill. Really?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, but when you're spying on, well, really anybody in our government, especially, but when you're spying on the opposition party.
Yeah. I went through the list. Mm-hmm. There's 8 of them.
Oh, is there 8?
There's 8 of them. There's. Well, who do you think? What party they're all affiliated to?
Well, they're all Republicans.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Every single one.
You got their names?
Yeah, there's Graham, Lindsey Graham, Bill Haggerty, Josh Hawley, Dan Sullivan, Tommy Tuberville, Ron Johnson, Cynthia Loomis, Marsha Blackburn and Mike Kelly.
And Marsha Blackburn is fit to be tied.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, man, is she upset.
Oh, buddy.
She is upset.
They should. They got every right in the world to be upset.
Well, and she made a point, last time I seen her on TV, she made a point about this. That what was happening, what Jack Smith was doing was using the full weight of the United States government to investigate and spy on the Trump supporting group.
Yes.
And in the Republican Party, by the way, there are not a lot of them. I mean, who was it? It was Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was asked, because Marjorie Taylor Greene is a ride or die chick for Trump.
Yep. And
she was asked about the Never Trumpers, and she said, "Oh, they're still there. They're just waiting in the weeds for Trump to get done." And so who will have to deal with them eventually? It'll be the never whoever wins the next presidential election. Hopefully it's J.D. Vance. Well, let's assume it's J.D. Vance. The Never Vancers.
Yeah.
We go from the Never Trumpers to Never Vancers. That's exactly what's going to happen. The one thing I am confident of, though, no matter what you see with this dog and pony show that goes on these days, the American people as a whole, they still love their president. Not only do they still love their president, they're going to vote for whoever the nominee is, probably Vance.
Yeah, whoever he endorses.
I think, to be honest with you, I guess the proof is in the pudding. We should know midterms how all this is going to play out.
Yeah.
Now, the important part is, and really makes me crazy about California, is that as long as we can keep on top of things and make sure that the Democrats do not cheat, because it's in their nature, it's in their blood, it's what they've always done. They've been registering dead people my entire life.
Well, it's funny you bring that whole thing up, because I saw an interview with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And he was talking about what they're trying to do with the gerrymandering and redistricting, and he says, he goes, it's garbage. He goes, they're taking the power away from the people.
Yeah. And what little power the people still have.
Yes. And he's pissed. He's upset. So.
But here's the thing I think that gets them in the end, and I appreciate what Schwarzenegger said, although Schwarzenegger's a rhino, in my opinion. I appreciate what he had to say, because he was obviously, I think he's trying to leave a little bit of a legacy. But anyway, the thing of it is that in my firm belief, the people of this country, they can gerrymander, they can redraw districts, all of that stuff. But when the rubber hits the road and people go in there to vote, as long as there's no cheating going on, I believe they're going to never give Democrats power again. Think about it.
And I agree with what you said. And go back to the last election, and I got to bring up Charlie Kirk because of that. Mm-hmm. Think of the amount of young people that he influenced to
he was making a difference.
Register.
He was making a real difference.
And how many people out there in that last election that said, you know what, I'm not saying anything to anybody. I'm just sitting back here in the weeds. We'll wait until
election day.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to pull the other lever.
And regardless of what the media tries to tell you or what the Democrats try to tell you, Donald Trump won in a landslide victory.
Yes.
They can try to sugarcoat and this, that, and the other and weave their little tails.
Yes.
Yeah, the American people spoke after all those indictments, after all those convictions, all those felonies, they would rather have a felon in the White House than that cackling idiot Kamala Harris anyway.
Well,
I don't give it
now. And real quick on that, I seen her the other day self-proclaimed that some people have told her that she's the most intelligent candidate to ever run for president. I about fell off my chair.
Here's the thing about, first of all, she's delusional. I think a drunk.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Let's not push it to the end, brother.
Now let's leave that for another moment. We'll do some add-ons in the next one, but with that being said, though,
thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Give us a little extra time to get our act together.
Yes, it's more me.
You've had 58 years to get your act together. What's a few more minutes going to get you now?
Mine's 6-0, so he's chasing me a little bit. But anyways, with that being said, let's thank our armed forces, naturally all the men and women.
That's right. That's
our first responders, naturally all the men and women.
Yeah.
Without all of them,
we're done.
We're done. There's nothing for us.
And long live this beautiful republic.
Peace.
Peace.
Out.
is. Everything hurts anymore. Okay, well, the good news